Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and it has been a while since I have posted something, video game related, I guess you could say. Um, but in today's video, we are going to be doing something a little different. In the past, when it comes to Ghost Recon videos, I've made no recoil builds or minimize recoil builds or whatever you want to call it, okay? But I guess you could say this one's sort of universal, not entirely, but about 80% sure it'll work with, I want to say 90%. Mm, yeah, 90% of ARs and SMGs, besides maybe like 3 SMGs and a few ARs. But without further ado, let me get straight into it. So, first things first, what you're gonna want to do is, pick what weapon you want, whether the weapon you're gonna be using is the 516. I only have the shorty, but that doesn't matter. Whether it's the 516 or the Mark 17 or the M4 or even the 416 or the G360, it doesn't matter. Just get the weapon of your choice, okay? And to showcase exactly what you could be using, I'm going to be using the 516 shorty. Okay, so starting off, all right, magazines. This right here is personal preference. This part right here is personal preference. Now, if you really want to get rid of as much recoil as possible, then I would suggest going with standard, because extended is good while it does give you some extra ammo, but you won't really be needing that unless you're doing online modes. And this isn't a build for online modes. This is just what I came across while playing some PvE in solo. Okay, so that's what you're going to want to use. You're going to want to use a standard mag. In case you're wondering, short barrel, obviously, it's like the main thing people use when it comes to builds. Um, so yeah, suppressor, for the rail, I find that the at PL is pretty good for some reason when it comes to minimizing recoil. Another good option is something like the RU vertical grip, because the at PL is going to help balance that out. Or the RVG, or if you don't want to use that, you can use something like the grip pod, or the tactical vertical foregrip if it's available. If it's available. Some weapons don't allow you to put that type of stuff on, but I'm gonna go with the RU vertical grip. And then for your uh stock, you can choose really anything. I'm gonna be honest with you. This part, this is what makes it the universal. That and the at PL mostly. Um, if you get something like this, you can really just sit here and put anything on, whether that's vertical recoil or um, horizontal recoil, or even if it doesn't even give you an ability, it really just anything, honestly. So this part is pretty much just whatever looks good on the gun, if I'm being honest with you. That's pretty much what this part is. So just pick whatever you think looks best for your weapon as your stock. Um, if you would like to change, like I said, you can. I think I might change it to the RVG. So I'm thinking here. Uh, your sights don't really matter. Again, personal preference for the sight. Pick whichever one you want. And you're pretty much done with your gun, I'm not gonna lie. After doing that, you're pretty much done with your build. So yeah, you can just do whatever it is that you wanted to do. And then this is your weapon build right here. And like I said, it's universal. So say if you didn't want to use that, and let's say you want to use the SC20K, you could go here, go to Rails, at PL, like I said, I assume it works with like 90% of ARs and SMGs, because a few ARs and SMGs don't give you that option, and one of them is the SC20K, because as you can see, there is no underbarrel or any stock that's available to change. So really, you're gonna have to make do with what you have. Dang, that was a stutter. Anywho, you can use this. I wouldn't really recommend using this unless you're going for like a realistic military type of look for a video that you may or may not be doing, or if you just want your gun to look like it's realistic in general. The Mall DA is a very, very good laser sight. That's if you want to use it. Very visible. It's easy to see, especially if you're using no crosshair. Makes it easier to hit shots. You get extra range, less sway, minus 20 shot spread. The only real issue I have with this thing is that you don't get any recoil buffs with it, so you can't really do much to minimize your recoil. So that's why I use the APL, and most of the time I do use a crosshair in this game, so that doesn't really bother me too much. Um, but yeah, like I said, you can use this with about like 80 to 90% of the ARs and SMGs in this game. So, whatever you want to do really is up to you. I'm going to be honest with you. So, yeah, that's it for this video. If you guys have enjoyed, be sure to hit like, hit subscribe, and let me know down in the comments if this has helped you with your gameplay in any shape, way, or form. And I'll see you guys in the next one.